I sincerely feel that just the way we need a balanced diet when we have to have our food. We cannot just have rice or just chapati or just dal or just chicken. Similarly, even for Viksit Bharat, if you talk about sustainable mobility, we need all kinds of form factors and chemistries, and we have to be agnostic to the energy source. So we need EVs for sure, we need H2Is, we need ethanol, flex fuel, we need the LNG, the methanol. Everything needs to come together, and whichever technology, fuel, energy is ideal for a particular application, that needs to be utilized. If LNG, H2IC makes sense for CV, so be it. If EV makes sense for two-wheeler, three-wheeler, so be it. So we should not be fixated on just EV. We have to be open to all kinds of technologies and chemistry. The other thing for sustainable and green mobility for Viksit Bharat is we are seeing so much technology and software in automotive and in vehicles. It's almost like a computer on two wheels or three wheels or four wheels. So we need the vehicle cyber security standards too. In fact, we at World Auto Forum have recently launched VAF VCSI, where we have tied up with the top industry cybersecurity experts, and we have rolled out the VAF VCSI, which stands for World Auto Forum Vehicle Cyber Security Index. So we encourage more and more vehicle makers to participate in this, software makers, cloud people, and let's make our vehicles cyber secure as well. Thank you.
We heard the Honorable Ministers Gadkari ji and Kumaraswamy ji both talking about a road to a carbon-free mobility for India. I think India is a big pivot when it comes to sustainable energy, thanks to the nature as well, and also to all the efforts of the government. So from the auto industry perspective, we need to acknowledge we are part of the problem. We need to shift as soon as possible to more zero emission mobility, and for that, educating customers, bringing new products, also pricing it, transferring the entire GST tax advantage to customer. All of these initiatives should help to transition to a more emission-free mobility. As such, there are intermittent technologies that will for sure help us in fuel consumption, reduce fuel consumption. But I would only say that from our perspectives, we are really pushing hard to see how soon we can shift to a zero emission future. And of course, globally, we are committed to a 2039 goal for Mercedes-Benz, which is net zero. And we believe that there is no luxury without sustainability. So for us, it's not an option. We need to do everything possible to transition to a sustainable mobility options.
So Government of India has laid out a very clear vision for Viksit Bharat, and we all want to make India a developed country. And obviously, sustainable mobility will play a very important role. As far as roadmap is concerned, one of the key things for us is to be self-dependent. This is part of the Viksit Bharat program. And I think when it comes to sustainable mobility, the road from where we are today to where we want to go is going to be dependent on the alternate fuel. We at Volvo Cars India, we believe electrification is the best possible route which is available for making India self-dependent and a movement towards Viksit Bharat. And hence our focus is on have better and more electric cars available in India, which is the route that will help us to get to our journey to achieve the Viksit Bharat program, both for the country and I think as an industry and for us at Volvo Cars India. So that's my view. I think alternate fuel and within that electrification will make a very big difference.
So for sustainable mobility towards Viksit Bharat, the first thing that I can think of is how do we get towards, go towards the fuel options which are better for the environment. So in this case, the electric vehicles that's the first thing that comes to my mind, followed by the flex fuels which has been promoted by our Honorable Minister of Road Transport and Highways, Mr. Nitin Gadkari. So that is number one. Number two, we need to also look at how do we make our roads and vehicles safer for the Indian consumer. As you know, the number of deaths in India post-accident is about close to 1.5 lakhs, and this is our responsibility of both OEMs as well as the government to make sure the roads are safer for the Indian people. So in this case, the OEM has to look at how we make, bring in active safety in our vehicles which makes our, which avoids all the accidents. And simultaneously, the OEMs have to look at education of the people of India and customers so that people know how to go for safe driving. From the government side, engineering of the roads is very important. I think how the banking of the roads is, how the turns are, and different methodologies which need to be brought in to make sure that Indian roads are safe. I think safety and the fuel options are two things that come to my mind to make sustainable mobility for the Viksit Bharat.
So sustainability is a key for the future of automobile industry in India. Both the Honorable Ministers, Mr. Gadkari and Mr. Kumaraswamy, during the inaugural session, dwelled deeply on the sustainability issues that automotive sector needs to address, whether it is in terms of cleaner fuels as well as scrapping and recycling of all the parts and various components of the automobile industry. FADA as well as SIAM has been they have been committed towards the sustainable future and the goals of the ministry, as well as committed to the goal that India should have a cleaner and better fuel and air. As dealers, as automobile dealers, whatever is the rollout by the Honorable Ministry, by SIAM, will be in total collaboration in terms of getting people trained and being aggressively part of the circular economy.
Maruti, being the market leader, we feel we need to be technologically agnostic. So we are going to have a play in all the technologies, be the EV, be the hybrids, be the CNG, be the biofuels. We are going to operate and we are going to offer all range of technologies to our customer. Thank you so much.
If we talk about Viksit Bharat, I think sustainable mobility plays a very important role. Today we are talking about sustainable mobility in terms of manufacturing, make in India. I believe that design, develop, build an ecosystem of skill which will develop sustainable mobility solutions for our country will play a vital role. I strongly believe that public transport adoption has to increase to make India Viksit Bharat. Personal cars are good mobility for any individual, but however, if you have to reach the mobility needs for a nation which has to become the third largest economy in the future, has to embrace on public mobility and multimodal mobility. And hence, the public mobility which is very sustainable or very important for adoption to make India Viksit Bharat.
Yes, today we are also part of the SIAM Convention, in which sustainable mobility for Viksit Bharat, which is the need of the hour. And from our perspective also, we are also equally looking at in terms of giving the product which can help in terms of achieving the overall sustainable mobility solutions. And currently we have flex fuel model which we have already showcased in the recent Bharat Mobility held it in February 2024, which we are going to introduce very soon. And along with that, we also will be coming up with the EV as well. So overall, we are also looking at in terms of not just from the product perspective, but even from the perspective of many of the carbon neutral activities and themes which we are doing at our plant as well, which include the solar and the wind power which we are using, along with the zero liquid discharge also which we are looking at. So we are also looking at not only these but even the circularities as well. So overall, HMSI is also committed to make sure that we have a sustainable mobility solutions for the future. Thank you.
In terms of evolution research, but we heard a lot today in terms of sustainable mobility and possible improvement and development in India going forward, but also in terms of on a global perspective. For what is concerned Piaggio and the company that I represent, definitely sustainable mobility has always been one of the main pillars of our philosophy in a global base. And since also we came to India more than 2.5 decades back, it has been definitely our Bible. And that's one of the reasons why we started at first, one of the first players into three-wheeler field to start with EV mobility more than 5 years back. And now we are investing quite heavily in this technology, both in a fixed battery field and swappable battery. But for what is concerned also IC sector, both scooter and three-wheeler, we see definitely a lot of possible development in this field. We heard a lot today talking about immediate solution possible, that is basically flex fuel and biofuel.
Hi, happy to be here. I'm Alok Verma, Head of Corporate Strategy and ESG for Ashok Leyland. The twin responsibilities I have make sure that the corporate strategy is aligned with our sustainability elements. It's a very interesting journey that we have undertaken at Ashok Leyland, which is in our DNA in terms of making sure that we are working towards a sustainable future. To give you a glimpse, we have actually signed up for RE100 by 2030, which is all our operations will be on 100% renewable energy by 2030 and net zero by 2047. These are big commitments for us, and what we have done is we have actually then translated that into short-term, medium-term and long-term commitments. To give you an example in terms of it will cut across all the different parameters when it comes from environment, social and governance elements. And each of them are equally critical. From an environment standpoint, I think we are working for across alternate fuels. From a product stewardship standpoint, we have actually had hydrogen ICE, battery electric vehicles, LNG, and maybe I think we are pretty much across the different ecosystem, fuel cell electric vehicle as well. So I think from that standpoint, we have all these vehicles out on the, and we're trying to make sure that we are addressing those use cases where it can be rolled out even faster.